What's going on, YouTube fam? Sweat 250 burpees, 10 sets of 25. And I'm here to tell you, the biggest mistake that you and I can make is not doing the difficult things that we know we should do. Now, it sounds pretty like obviously common sense, but let me tell you this, all right? If you haven't been following me on YouTube a lot, or you have, then you know that I used to upload 3 times a week, right? That takes two things. It takes consistency and it takes discipline, okay? I haven't been doing that. I used to post on my Instagram every single day. I haven't been doing that. And what's that take? 2 things, consistency and discipline, okay? Whenever we fall off our consistency and discipline, our life gets worse because mentally we don't feel good about ourselves. And so my business hasn't been doing as good as I would want it to be, if I'm being honest. And then I asked myself, whoa, how could it be doing better if you've only gotten worse? How can your life be getting better if you've only gotten worse? I dropped the ball, all right? I let pleasure, comfort get the best of me. I even say a little bit of entitlement, you know? Maybe entitlement's not the right word, but maybe it is, you know? Because at one point I said, like, why do I have to be so disciplined? Why do I have to be so disciplined, like physically, you know, when there's people running companies who are nowhere near as disciplined as me when it comes to like sales and running a business? I'm like, why do I have to put in all this work if my goal is just to create wealth? That's what was going through my mind. So I'm like, no, let me just get better at sales and business, and you know what, that will grow my company. What I went to find out is that everything is skills. Everything in life is skills. You might look at me and be like, man, how do you get there? Well, I'll tell you, it took 18 years. It took me 18 years to really get a body like this and stay consistent with it, right? If you ask me how long I've been in business for, I would say 5 years. And so while you might look at me and be like, I want to get like him, you also got to understand there's 18 years behind this. So my flaw, which I was doing, is I would look at these business guys and be like, oh, fuck, like they're not in shape. Like I have discipline, I can be as good, but they also have 10 plus years in business and sales. They have 15 years in sales. You know, I'm comparing my 5 years to their 15 years. It's like comparing your 5 years in the gym with my 18 years at the gym, right? I'm 5'7", 162 pounds, right? You might say, how do you look that? You're not that big, you're not that tall. Like, how do you, years, aesthetically pleasing, right? So another mistake that I made is thinking that I could do something that someone has been doing for 10, 15 years, right? And wondering, well, why am I not as good as them? You know, why am I not, I'm studying, I'm putting in the reps, so I'm not getting the same result. Well, they've just been doing it longer, right? They've been doing sales and business a lot longer than me. My 5 years versus their 10, 15 years. I haven't even put a decade into business, right? And you see, when I was doing what I was doing before, right? The content, because I've been doing content for years, been doing content for years. And because I dropped my content, I went the business route, things started to go down. It doesn't mean I wasn't growing. It didn't mean that I wasn't getting better, right? It's like maybe you started going to the gym and you're not getting the results you want. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It doesn't mean that you're not doing the right thing. You're just putting in your time, right? You're putting in your time. Sometimes I have clients tell me, you know, it's like, hey, like, how do I know how to do this? How do I know how to do this? Like, when will I know how to do this? I'm like, the path illuminates as you walk it. Like, I asked her, I remember one of my clients, I'm like, last year you didn't work out nowhere near as much as you're working out now. And how do you expect after 2 months to know exactly everything that I've known in training? You know, I have another client who said, hey, can you teach me how you do everything? I'm like, but I can't teach you everything I've learned in 18 years in 1 month, right? Certain things in life, you have to walk the path in order for you to have a better understanding, right? And so I've also learned this. If you have a lot of chaos in your mind, well, it's because you're not doing things that bring you peace. You're actually doing things that are comfortable, pleasurable, and it's creating chaos in your mind. Because ultimately, you and I are given life, are given the gift of life to become better and to make other people's lives better. I truly believe that is your purpose and my purpose. As we get older, as we learn new things, we are here to teach those behind us how to live a better life. It's like when you have a child, you know, they're level 0 and you're teaching them everything, how to eat, how to speak, how to walk, you know, don't do this, don't do that, be careful with this, right? So in life, right, as if you want your life to get better and I want my life to get better, then I have to become better, you have to become better. And that all starts with discipline, right? We only have chaos because we avoid discipline. And discipline is doing something very hard to then feel good about yourself, versus feeling good about yourself and then feeling the pain of doing something you shouldn't have done. If I can just get that through your mind. The past 6 months, I've just felt a lot of mental pain. And I'm wondering, I've been angry, I've been disappointed, I've been frustrated, I've been annoyed. I've wanted to pick fights with people just out of anger. And I read this quote, and it's like, when the gods want to bring a man down, they anger him. A philosopher said that. When the gods want to bring a man down, they anger him. And it's true, because your anger can take you places that are gonna get you in trouble, you know? But more men or women have fallen because of their anger, their outburst, their lack of self-control. You know, towards the end of last year, I went and bought some weed from like my neighbor, and my family called me, and me and my brother laughed about it. But when I look at myself now, and I'm like, you would have never done that a year ago. Instead of doing that, you would have hit 250 burpees. But what I was doing, I was playing the victim. And as I'm reading this book right here, it's called Discipline is Destiny, right, by Ryan Holiday. He even says it in there. It's like we all fall short. We all drop the ball, right? We all fail discipline, but discipline never fails us. And I admit, I've dropped the ball. I've dropped the ball on my podcast. I've dropped the ball on my Instagram. I've dropped the ball on my videos on TikTok. I've dropped the ball on my YouTube videos. I became selfish. I started looking at my life as the victim and being like, why don't I have what I need? I don't have the clients. I don't have the business. I don't have the relationship, right? I don't have, like, why is it that, you know, I just started really being very ungrateful for what I have already. And if I look back at when I was the most disciplined, right? Like a year ago when I was the most disciplined, that version of me didn't give a fuck about what I had. He was all about how could I help more people? How could I help more people? And so there are times where you look back and be like, man, I was a lot better then than I am now. Maybe in shape. Maybe you're a lot better shape then than you are now. Maybe you're a lot better financially then than you are now. Whatever it might be, that version of you had more discipline. Simple as that. He had more discipline. It's not that distractions. It's not that more things came into your life. Maybe they did. Maybe me moving here in Miami, feeling a certain type of way, made me want to be made me feel like I deserved more. And I didn't stick to the principles that got me here. And I guess that's the story of life. And that's the hero's journey. You know? But just know that discipline is going to be the key to peace. All right? I love you. Hope you enjoyed this video. And let's get back up. I'm getting back up. All right? We'll both get back up together. All right? But just don't quit on me. All right? We can't always control losing, but we can control if we're a loser or a winner. The loser stays down. The loser gives up. The winner gets right back up. He doesn't always get right back up. Sometimes he'll lay there. But that motherfucker will get back up. And that's what you and I got to do. All right? Love you.